Here's a question. If at our core, like babies, we are love, vulnerability, and presence, then why as adults do we need to cultivate love, compassion, and kindness? I mean, there's a whole self-help industry and a couple religions centered around learning how to love yourself and other people and practicing that in your life. But why do we need to learn and practice it if it's what we already are? Unless something or some things happened at some point in our lives that came in and sort of blocked our ability to love and to be ourselves. It makes sense that that could be the case, doesn't it? Yeah, good, because that's what happens. The culprit that blocks us is emotional repression. And we could say it's trauma, that's valid, but what happens in traumatic situations is we dissemble, split off from ourselves, and go underground. And that's really what happens with repression. So I don't usually differentiate between the two. So here's why cultivating love, kindness, and compassion can be a red flag of emotional repression. Let's say because it's true that I as a kid learned that it wasn't safe to feel and express my anger in my family of origin. If I would have expressed anger, Dad might have raged on me and Mom might have withheld her love because you're being like your father. So I pushed it down and I forgot about it. And I became, on the surface, sort of friendly, laid back, cool, but people-pleasing Dan as an adult. And then around 25, I start becoming more aware of how anxious and depressed I am. There's some addictive stuff happening too. And so I go to therapy. And the therapist says, we can give you meds for that. I said, I don't want to do meds, but I think I can resolve this through spirituality and mindfulness. So I tried the religion of my youth, Christianity, which didn't last very long. And so then I started to look into more sort of Buddhist non-dual teachings. And in both cases, they talked a lot about cultivating love. Like in Christianity, they would say, love your neighbors yourself, or, be of service to others. And in Buddhism, they said, cultivate compassion for all beings. So I really did try, because I loved these concepts of love, kindness, compassion, gentleness, right? But I wouldn't I? Because I repressed anger. I want everybody to love each other. I want the world to look peaceful and calm. I want a pervading sense of oneness, because I don't want me or anyone else getting angry. Do you see the violence in the cultivating of love, compassion, and kindness when we have buried emotions in the body? It's kind of scary, actually. If I'm an anger repressor and I'm trying to cultivate love, gentleness, and equanimity, it's going to be fake love, gentleness, and equanimity. Just like if I'm a hurt and vulnerable emotions repressor and I'm trying to cultivate strength, power, and confidence, it's going to be fake strength, power, and confidence. See? The repression is already cultivating and manufacturing the opposite of what's happening in my unconscious. So if I'm working with an anger repressor who's trying to cultivate self-compassion, I'll usually say, instead of trying to cultivate compassion for yourself, why not make conscious the repression programming that compels you to hate yourself and others, right? Because if you didn't already hate yourself and others, why would you need to cultivate compassion? The point is, in repression work, we want to find the authentic emotions that are buried in the unconscious body and make those conscious. Because until then, we're going to be trapped in pretense, believing that we're kind when we're angry or that we're strong when we're scared. In coming out of emotional repression, it frees up so much energy that we previously spent on cultivating and manufacturing stories about ourselves. If this appeals to you, visit repressiontest.com.